Time limit. His opponent from Omaha, Nebraska, weighing in at 248 pounds, Ted DiBiase. The referee is Nick Patrick.
Steve-O and Ted DiBiase, and again, two good friends competing here. And certainly hope we don't have a reoccurrence of the situation that occurred between Steve Kern and Kevin Sullivan. How about Steve-O being from Edina, Minnesota? Brings to mind, I just got word not too long ago that Greg Gagnon, you remember Greg, who competed here, and great friend of Jim Brunzell's and Steve-O's. Greg, I understand, is a proud new father. He and his wife had a brand new baby, so our congratulations to Greg. Steve-O in the black trunks, overhooking in behind his man. Good waist cinch. DiBiase trying to spin away from that. Brings it into a beautiful fire and carry. DiBiase in the red trunks. The ropes once again. DiBiase fired off. Steve-O drops to the canvas. Drop toe hold by Steve-O. Steve-O from a very, very lovely section of just outside Minneapolis, Edina. And it is Steve-O maintaining the pressure on Ted DiBiase. DiBiase trying to roll away from it. Steve-O. The pressure to him. DiBiase overhooking the head now. And this may be his escape route. Well, you've got a double overhook is what you've got going right now. Each man has the other one overhooked. The referee may declare a stalemate here. No, sir. They break free. And it was Steve-O trying to break out of it. DiBiase maintains the side headlock. Good block by DiBiase as Steve-O tried to go for a hip lock, and from a backslide, it was Steve-O rolling away from that. So, Steve-O into some very, very fine counter wrestling here. Good defensive moves. Steve-O breaks it up as DiBiase had taken him to the canvas. Again, both men back on their feet. DiBiase, at over 240 pounds, moves with remarkable speed. And it's DiBiase with the takedown now on the side headlock, but Steve-O breaking it up. Steve-O reapplying pressure now, but it looks like they're into the ropes, and the referee calling for the break. All right, once again, excellent match thus far. Both men equally talented, no question about this. Good fireman carry. Notice the way feinted with the hand, then suddenly dropped in low, surged forward. Got under his man into the fireman carry. DiBiase trying to fight his way out of it. DiBiase with a hammerlock temporarily. Moved it very smoothly. DiBiase has a fluidity of motion that I have seen in very, very few competitors. I can visualize some great things for DiBiase and for Steve-O. Both of these men, outstanding athletes. Very evenly matched thus far. Notice where he's under the chin, but not across the throat. And there's the mark of a gentleman in the ring. As Steve-O had that opportunity, he could have taken a cheap shot, if you will, and come directly across the throat, but did not do so. Tried to set him for a knee lift that time, but DiBiase blocked. DiBiase with a good back out. Okay. And note, though, as tempers start getting a little bit on edge, both men were extremely cautious on that break off the ropes. I'm sure it must be on their minds, too. They saw what happened between Kevin Sullivan and Steve Kern. Double underhook that time. DiBiase driving back to the ropes. Off the ropes, caught him in the back of the elbow. Drops Steve-O to the canvas. Comes down with the elbow, but Steve-O rolls out of the way just in time. DiBiase may be having some... He's got him up. Has him in that airplane spin, and DiBiase dumped unceremoniously. Now he hooks that near leg. No, sir, into the ropes. Into the ropes, and it looked for a moment like we were going to see the first defeat on television for Ted DiBiase. Full body slam, inverted press. And again, DiBiase powers out before the count of 3. And so, beautiful hook to an inside cradle, but Steve-O powers out. Boy, you talk about two athletes who are well matched. And you have it here. Wow! Flying drop kick that caroomed off the chin of DiBiase, and I'm surprised he's even back to his feet. Steve-O, good block by DiBiase from the atomic knee drop. And DiBiase brought him into a belly-to-back suplex. Steve-O was setting himself to counter the atomic knee drop, and DiBiase moved into a belly-to-back suplex. Still not enough for that pinning combination. Caught him with the elbow that time. Steve-O down to the canvas. Again, DiBiase drilling that left elbow into the canvas. Steve-O catches him a good shoulder smash coming off the ropes. Another good shoulder smash by Steve-O. Power slam by DiBiase. Into the spinning toe hold. Crossing over to the figure 4. Steve-O, reluctant, fighting pain all the way, did not want to concede and fought it, but to no avail. Once that figure 4 is clamped down, it is all over. And a very, very impressive win for Ted DiBiase. And DiBiase over there, I'm sure that if DiBiase had had his choice, he would not have gone for a submission hold. I'm sure if he had had an opportunity to pin the man, he would have done exactly that. He's over there very concerned and congratulating Steve-O on a great match. And
Sincerely hope that on today's program I was going to introduce as the new tag team champions. Unfortunately, and we're going to see proof of it in just a moment, again, interference and certainly lack of a fair deal, in my opinion.
That's right, Gordon. If I were to stand out here and ask you what this Freebird team is all about, I think it's supposed to be that one man can Freebird every night, that you can slip in an extra man. That way it benefits them and not knowing who you wrestle. But it seems that there's another meaning for Freebird, and that's Stan and myself having to wrestle 3 against 2, and I think you got a piece of VTR that explains that better than I can say it, really.
Exactly, and of course we have a very special announcement coming up right after we've seen this regarding Robert Fuller and Stan Frazier and the Freebirds. We'll tell you about that right now, though. Let's go back to the Omni and to this match that we're talking about, and I think you'll see full well what Robert Fuller is talking about at this particular time regarding the Tag Team Championship. The match, of course, underway, and here we see Terry coming off that second rope, and Robert, obviously you're more than somewhat concerned over what's going on.
That's right. At this point, they've got Frazier stopped. Now, Frazier's a hard man to get down, and by this time he's already tagged me, which you're not going to get Frazier down in there and pin him for a 1, 2, 3. He's too big, he's too strong, and he's not going to be beaten like that. I got him going pretty good here. But you see, at this point, I'm still having to go with the 2 of them. It's not one man in the ring, and Frazier just come from behind and picked me up. And boy, I love that shot right there. I gave him 2 real good kicks. I got that Buddy Roberts over there right in the face with a nice smash, and I just came right in and tried to put a stretch on him, but I saw Michael Hayes up on the other side, and I just eased over there and gave him a good shot and moved right in for a roll-up. Now, Frazier's on the other side. He's got Terry Gordy, the other Freebird, cornered, and you see Michael Hayes right there, just as a glimpse out of the corner of your eye. He was in the ring. He clotheslined me right off the top when I was looking back at the referee, trying to decide where he was instead of counting the man's shoulders down. The referee was trying to get Frazier off of, as you see over here in the other corner, off of Terry. at the same time, there was interference in there, 3 against 2. Now, we've had this. We had it when the trophy was at stake, and now we have it again, Gordon.
Well, this is certainly no question about it. And again, we saw the situation where...
You know, it was very or dissatisfying, I think, to both of us, more so than just myself or nor him.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's take a look at the match that we're talking about, of course. Mr. Saito going up against Mr. Wrestling number 2. There was each man had put up $5,000. And, of course, in the Omni, we see the two of you squaring off a $10,000 purse, and a lot of personal pride along with this.
Yes, very true. That man was out to beat me any way he possibly could. And I knew this. But then again, I was at the same way. I felt the same way at the time. I still feel the same way. I didn't get his money. He didn't get mine. And plus, he didn't get any kind of, you might say, revenge for losing the $5,000 he did to Bob Armstrong.
Double chop here to either side of the head, of course, has you in trouble here. And this is the thing, of course, where he is so extremely dangerous, having been so well schooled in the Oriental methods of wrestling.
Let me tell you something, Gordon. This man is an extremely powerful individual. I'm not selling him short, not by a long shot.
Here you have the sleeper on you, and of course you realize full well the desperate straits that you were in, and you're battling trying to get over to the ring.
Well, the one thing about a sleeper that all wrestlers should learn is keep your cool, because a sleeper is a very devastating hold, and once it is fully applied, it becomes very difficult to get out of. And if you don't keep your cool, you'll find yourself blacked out real quick.
Here he caught you with a chop coming off the ropes. Of course, you were able to move away from that before the pinning combination. Again, he catches you coming off those ropes. You thought you had him for a backdrop, but again, you power out before the count of 3.
Gordon, this man was shooting everything he had at me. I knew it. I expected it. But I fully primed myself and prepared myself for the absolute worst from this man.
Is it possible, the fact that you have not been actively competing up until just recently, since you've come back out of retirement, is it possible that perhaps you're not yet up to your peak efficiency in the ring, or do you feel that you are at total peak efficiency?
No, Gordon, anytime you lay off for any length of time, you'll find yourself in difficult positions many times. Right at this moment here, I had him tied up. I'd done what I was set out to do. I did what I said I was going to do, and I was very happy about it. And I let my thoughts run away with me a little bit too much there, and I did the one thing I shouldn't have done, was turn my back to him. As you can well see, he took advantage of it, and he was out to do me in.
Obviously, of course, the situation here rapidly getting out of hand, and the referee trying to restore order. You're outside the ring, not only outside the ring, but outside the barrier on the floor. And everybody now trying to restrain Mr. Saito, getting him back into the ring. And, of course, here he's claiming a victory.
Well, he can claim whatever he wants to claim. The fact is that I beat him in the middle of the ring. His shoulders were counted down, whether he likes it or not. And I understand that he is very dissatisfied, very unhappy, and he's also come back for another chance, or whatever you may want to call it, his type of match.
And let's take a look at the closing moments of this match. Jack Brisco, the national heavyweight champion, defending his title against the Stomper, and of course you can see the tremendous pressure the Stomper is putting on Brisco at this time. Jack Brisco, of course, former world heavyweight champion, and now the national heavyweight champion, an outstanding competitor. He's one of the greatest wrestlers ever to come from the state of Oklahoma. No one can deny, however, the tremendous and awesome power and the devastating fury of this man, the Mongolian Stomper. But you can see here the Stomper hurtling the national heavyweight champion outside the ring and being warned by the referee. And again, the Stomper pressing every possible advantage. There you see Don Carson, his manager, on the outside. Now watch this. Now the referee's attention momentarily diverted by Don Carson. Now, Carson did not get into the ring, but his presence outside the ring and diverting the referee's attention momentarily, one has to believe that this does give the Stomper certainly an added advantage. Again, you see Carson. And now, whether the referee was in an altercation there or what happened, I don't know. But the referee went down as a result of some sort of collision with Carson outside the ring again. And here's where Brisco began to dominate the situation. The Stomper trying to reverse things. Now the referee knocked to one side. Brisco has him up. A full slam. Jack Brisco going for the figure 4. And, of course, this is what... And there you see again Don Carson from outside the ring providing that diversion. And, all right, the count. But in my opinion, obviously, Don Carson being a little bit more than just an observer from outside the ring. You can see Carson out there now receiving the National Heavyweight Championship belt. No question about the pinfall, the fact that it did occur. And Jack Brisco highly embittered over the situation, and it is Brisco himself, in my opinion, who points the finger at this gentleman as being the cause for him losing the belt.
At Memorial Auditorium, you'll have a great card. When you get to Columbus, Ohio, they'll love you. That's the Ohio Center. The Freebirds will be there with you. And don't forget Christmas night, Atlanta. Thank you.
Just go on. Listen, I don't know what is the matter with Paul Jones, if he's gone senile or lost his brain, putting a money match like this that would fill any arena in the country on TV. But there's one out, and we're going to prove it. If they lose, they got to pack their bag and get out. And that's just what you better do, is pack your bag, because you're fixing to...
We're going to find out. Let's turn it over to the ring.
Tired of people pushing us around.
Ladies and gentlemen, this tag team event for the Georgia Tag Team Championship with a TV time limit. Introducing first at a combined weight of 740 pounds, the tag team champions, Michael Terry and Buddy, the fabulous Freebirds. Their opponents, Robert Fuller and Stan Frazier.
All right, Robert Fuller and Stan Frazier. I've asked Ted DiBiase to join me here. Very, very little time remaining and a very critical match.
Well, here it is, Gordon. You know, I saw Robert Fuller, and as I expressed earlier in the show, they're fired up about this match. To go ahead and say they didn't care if they lost, that's quite a statement after only being here a couple weeks. And Robert Fuller is ready for battle right now.
And Fuller now taking a lot of punishment. Terry tags up with Buddy, and so the Freebirds trying to dominate. Fuller battered back against those ropes, and it's Buddy continuing to issue more and more punishment, and it is Robert Fuller outside the ring on this concrete floor, and Big Stan Frazier moving down out of his corner.
You know, Gordon, these Freebirds, you know, I've been here for a few weeks now, and I've sat by and I've just watched. I haven't really voiced my opinion, but I know the Freebirds. I've wrestled them before. I wrestled them all over Louisiana and Mississippi. And the threat is always that third man. You never know when he's going to be there, and you can always count on him being there. He's always going to present himself. That's the threat today. That's what I'm worried about, is that that third man is going to stick his nose in that ring when the action gets... There's that big Stan Frazier. He's got Michael...
Now we've got Frazier crashing down. Buddy rolled out of the way just in time, and now Buddy trying to pound away on him.
Well, I don't care what you say about Stan Frazier. He might be big and overweight, but it's like you say, you know, where's a 400-pound gorilla sleep, Gordon? Anywhere he wants to, and you get that man riled up, and he can do a lot of damage.
Certainly no question about that, and this match continues and time continues. And it is Buddy crashing an elbow into Stan Frazier, and again. Now it's Frazier uncorking against him, and now makes the tag with Robert Fuller. Robert Fuller comes charging in. Robert Fuller has Buddy and Terry Gordy in there. Now we've got all four of them in the ring. All four in the ring, and it is...
Anything can happen now, Gordon. All four of them. That referee's got a hard job trying to control a match like this. Of course, the Freebirds wanting to keep the titles, and there's Michael Hayes.
He's got the Fuller leg lock.
That's what I was talking about. You always got... Gordon, I said I wanted to help him out, and I'm going to right now.
Robert Fuller had him in the Fuller leg lock, and our time is rapidly disappearing here. Ted DiBiase has charged the ring after Michael Hayes. And wait a
a second. Here comes Kevin Sullivan. Everybody charging in there. Our time is gone.
Together. They got 30 years of obvious, solid wrestling knowledge. The way, Michael, the way you pinned that man just now, you were fantastic. It was nothing, thank you. I just would like to say, Gordon, solely for those out there that aren't brain surgeons, take a minute to think about it. That was not an elimination tag. What would have happened if we'd have got rid of the other two first before we got to Jimmy Jones? That's something that Robert Fuller has to think about. That's something that Stan Frazier and I promise. And when I make a promise and they make a promise, we keep it. DiBiase, let me tell you something, boy. You know what we've done before. You push us too far, and we will do it again. And I am sadly afraid that you have pushed us too far.
Well, may I just take a moment, if I may, to talk a little bit about